Hi everyone, I'm Inky Pinkie, and today I will be showing you how to draw in a stylised My Little Pony drawing. Well, I'm going to show you how to draw My Little Ponies in a stylised way. Okay, so the first one I want to draw is a show style pony, and a lot of artists when they first start drawing is they automatically start to learn to draw in the show style, and there's nothing wrong with that because there's a lot of references out there for that kind of thing, so that's all well and good. However, it's really hard to make this kind of style of drawing really original, make you stand out. So today I'm gonna try and suggest other ways of drawing to try and help you make yourself unique, unique and special and different from everyone else. And I don't draw in the show style, so this is probably going to look awful, but we're going to give it a go anyway. So what I've done is I've got the circle here for the base of the head, and I've just drawn the guides for where the face will be pointing. Now, this shows us that the face will be pointing in sort of this direction there. Okay, so when you've decided where your pony wants to be drawn, and if you're right-handed, it's easier for you to draw your ponies or your characters facing that direction. And if you're left-handed, it's easier for them to be drawn in the other direction. So what you're going to do is you're going to start off with the muzzle, and from that very centre cross of your image, you're going to just kind of bring it out like that. And then that's the sound, you're going to bring it round and connect it up to the jaw there, to the main head. So there you go, there's your nose. Now for the other eye, what you want to do is kind of go halfway between that bottom horizontal line, which is like the centre of the face, kind of go up halfway and draw a second line following like the curved surface of the sphere. And that's how tall your eyes are going to be. You can draw them bigger or smaller, depending. And for this one, it's quite easy for the furthest away eye. You just kind of pick a point where that crosses over, and you just come straight down, straight horizontally down to the snout there. Make it a bit more round. And the second eye you want here. Now, you might be wondering how far apart should these eyes be, and like the rule of thumb is that the eyes should be about half a width's eye apart, or a full width's eye, between that sort of area. So we're going to draw up. There we go, nice kind of oval shape for the eye. And you can add expressions to these, we can make it look worried or whatever with eyebrows, but today we're just going to leave it kind of fairly basic. We might add our smile. Smiles are just easy, there we go. Like that. And remember, this is a really quick sketch, so we're just not doing anything neat or, trying to make it look pretty. It's just deciding whereabouts the body part should go on our base. Now I'm going to do the ear, and the pony ears are kind of squidgy, so you want to start off, well, first you want the end of the ear to kind of level with the eye. Draw your ears like that. And then add our little line there. You want the ears to come out. Then for the horn, if you're going to draw a horn, you use that that vertical line, up here, and kind of around out here, just above the eyes, you draw on the horn. Add the horn little patterns. There we go. Now let's say we were drawing Twilight Sparkle. I don't have a reference of Twilight in front of me, so this is probably going to end up horribly wrong. But let's say we're drawing her, so we're going to do the fringe, and you want the hair kind of a bit of space between the top of the head and the hair. This just adds a bit of nice volume, and it kind of comes around like that, doesn't it? And cross her eyes and up like that. Bit of hair there, I think. For the necks, you want it to come down from the centre of the circle, and then from there, the front of the hair, or the side of the hair, coming down, kind of coming away from the neck. Again, I'm not really sure where the coloured bits of the hair go, but I'm going to guess it's around about there. Okay, so there we've got our basic pony shape. Now for the eyes. Your iris of the eye wants to take up the majority of the white space, and if you want your pony to be looking at you, you want to kind of draw it in the top corner of the eye, like that. There's our iris for that one, and our iris for this one. The pupil, again, kind of big, ovangular, I have no idea, it's just an oval. Oval shape like that. Kind of draw in sketchy colour for the eye. That looks quite horrifying. Oh well. There we go. Add your eyelashes. Remember, this is a sketch, things are going to overlap. You're not going to really draw like this. Obviously the hair will be covering the eyes so you wouldn't see it and that kind of thing. But this is just a general idea of where it goes. So when you've drawn everything and you're happy with it, what you're just going to do is erase the guides, or erase some of the guides. There we go. It looks beautiful. So I don't draw on the show style at all. I've probably not drawn this since I first started, so this is going to look absolutely horrendous. But hey. Get back on the pencil. Bring that up. And if we want, we can probably make this a little bit neater. If we make a new layer above our old layer, lower the opacity so we can just about see it. Make our pen a bit darker. There we go, it's quite nice. And then just kind of go over the top. Remember, it's nothing special, nothing neat. Ooh, there we go. So, as I was saying, this is a good style for you to practice if you're first starting out. However, I really would not recommend you kind of specialise in it, if that makes any sense. I mean, even if you drew perfect show style ponies, how would you differentiate between you and another artist who draws them in this style? It's much better to choose your own style and kind of run with that than it is to use someone else's. I mean, a lot of people are scared of starting their own style, or think that they might not like what they've picked, or they have no idea what they're doing, and that's fine because you're experimenting, and it's completely fine after, let's say, a month of you drawing in a particular style to put down your pen and say, hang on a minute, I'm not too sure about this, I don't know if I like it, don't know if it's me, and to, experiment again. I mean, that's absolutely fine. It's better to do that than just stick with the same kind of show style formula and just kind of carrying on with something you're not happy with. Sorry, it's taking too long. I mean, I can draw a lot better than this with more time, but I'm trying to be as quick as possible so you guys don't really get bored. Add some bit of colour to that. Add some bit of colour to that. Let's get that bit of hair down. That's not quite right, but oh well. Final bits of details. Add a bit of colour. Well, I say colour, just kind of sketchy shading to the iris. Probably add a bit of eyelashes there. Oh, that looks horrendous. What is that about? And then finally, if we just kind of add a bit more sketchy to the eye, we can add the shinies. Where's my eraser? There we go. So there we go. There you have your basic kind of show style, show pony, like that. Okay, so we've seen how to draw in the show style, and next we're going to be looking at drawing in the in a more stylised way. And again, this is a style that I'm not particularly used to. I've used it in the past, but it's not really my kind of thing. Hang on, let me just find the right sphere. There we go. So we're going to use this sphere now, and we're going to do the same pen. We're going to do Twilight again. We're just going to do it in different styles, so at the end we can compare. So we've got our guides that we did before, and this time we're going to make it look a tad more elegant. We're going to do a more realistic, if you can call it that. So we've done the same, and the same thing again. We're going to do our muzzle from that centre line. So you just kind of want to make kind of a bit of a curved line there, and then come down a bit. And it depends how long you want your muzzle to be, you know, but you probably don't want it that long, but I'd say about there. It's long enough. And you kind of join it up and then connect it to the jaw. There. We've got our muzzle. Now the centre, or the space between the eyes, is actually going to follow the width of this muzzle here, instead of being kind of like an estimated gap like this one was. So what you want to do is kind of pretend the muzzle, the centre of the muzzle, is carrying up over the head like that. And that'll give you an idea of where the placement of the eyes and stuff is going to be. Sort of like that. So what you want to do, the eye is again start over here. Can bring it down. You want slightly smaller eyes this time because it's a more kind of realistic, well not realistic, but more elegant, less cutesy wootsy style. So you want smaller eyes. Smaller eyes mean it's less cute. So I'm going to draw our other eye. Can I make it more elegantly shaped by making it kind of more longer than it is taller? It's kind of looking a bit like an alien, sad to say. So we've got our basic eye. Kind of bring that down a bit more. Ugh. We've got our basic kind of shapes there. Now for the smile, this kind of across the front of the muzzle is always going to be the same shape no matter what the expression is. It can only be a straight line, and then it's here where you can make it happy or sad or whatever. So I'm going to just make it a bit further down. What you want to do ideally is kind of make it this 3/4 of the way down the side of the muzzle for the kind of smiley bit of the face. Add a bit of smile, and the nostrils are going to come across that centre line there. So we've done that. That eye's looking a bit weird, but oh well, I'm going to carry on anyway. So next we're going to do the ears as we did before, and you kind of want them more angular and pointy because that just adds a bit of style. All the ears are going to join up to the side of the head like here. So we're probably going to make them a bit more angular, pointing a bit more forward. We're going to come out, you know, add a bit more shape. The more angles you put in, the more kind of dynamic something becomes. So kind of dynamic ears, you can do the opposite way maybe, or make those a bit pointier forward. I'm going to add the eyes again. The iris rule still applies if you want something looking in that direction. You need to draw it in the top left corner of the eye. Probably make it more round, the pupils. Still looks incredibly creepy. Like that. Alright, so it's looking very, very terrifying. All's going well. Add a couple of those. Add your iris colour around like that. Okay, so I'm going to carry on drawing Twilight. I want to add the horn, and the horn is going to want to be longer this time. Really long. Like that. Add the horn markings. If you do them, more of them in closer together, it kind of gives you that spiral effect better. Or even better if you kind of come out and add little bulges to the side. That really will make it look like it's kind of a spiral shape, like kind of going around like that. But don't really have time for that now. And then the neck's going to come, want to come from the centre again, come down. But this time you might want to add like a couple of neck tendons, I guess that's what they call them, there. Make it a bit more angular and nice. The hair again, it's going to come across like that. Come on, add a bit more angularness. Maybe add a bit of hair there. She kind of looks like a guy. Oh well. Add the hair details. Have that coming down like that. There we go. There we go. Alright then, so we've got our basic details. Probably going to add the shinies. Like if you add like the shines in the eyes, it does make things look a lot less creepy. Kind of got the... There we go, that still... No, take that back. That still looks incredibly creepy. But we'll carry on regardless. So we're going to lower the opacity again. A new layer above this. And this style was more kind of like for the elegant, if you want like kind of a less cute style, more kind of a serious style, or kind of a more mature looking style. This is a good one to go for. I'm not very good at it, as you can obviously see. It also takes a lot longer. The more kind of semi-realistic and the more detail you put into something, the longer it takes to draw. And shade and colour and all of that kind of thing. But the more realistic you go, the more important anatomy and placement of stuff becomes. And if you do something wrong, like the muzzle shape on mine is far too big, it's way more noticeable than it would be if it was on more kind of like a chibi style, which we'll come on to later. So we're coming across now. Had her hair split, I don't know, on her fringe or bangs if you're American. Come like that. And there are a lot of artists who prefer this style over the really cute style, and it is one I really do enjoy looking at myself, but I don't think I could ever really do it because it's not easy for me to draw despite how much I like it. Now come on to her face. Can I make that bit? And if you want, you can just make the kind of the bottom of the jaw come in a bit more. And that generally makes it look a bit more realistic. And then kind of get that kind of shape going. Maybe come in a bit to that jaw so it doesn't look as big on the head. Then the eye, as usual, comes up, goes up like that. Draw around there. You probably want to make this front bit, the top bit there, a bit thicker. That gives like kind of like a bit like eyeliner or mascara for ponies, you could say. So there we have the iris, the pupil, colour that in very slowly. Same for this side, the iris, the pupil, colour it in. And you should really experiment. You can mix up these styles, you know, it's not definitive show style, realistic, chibi, cutesy wootsy style or anything like that. You're perfectly welcome to be free and deviate from the kind of like set rules or guidelines that people have set up. A bit like that. Get a bit of hair coming down here, you know, have some flyaway hairs. I've done that completely differently to the first one, but shh, no one will notice. That comes down there. Pretend that was intentional. Add your colour. Add your colour. Add some colour. Add some colour. And then get our eraser and add those shinies. There we go. Beautiful. So we've done our show style here, our semi-realistic, and we're going to come on to my favourite and the one I personally use, which is the chibi style. And for me, it's a lot easier to draw in this style. For you, it might not be, but here we go. So, as always, we start with our face guides. So, Here we go. And also, as always, we're going to start with the muzzle. And this time, however, we're not going to start from that centre line or that cross. That cross is going to be the centre of where the nose is, or the nose line. So we're going to follow this horizontal line and then make a line like that. And that centre line is going to be roughly halfway between. And we're going to bring that down, kind of make it into like a, I have no idea what that shape is, kind of just bring that down into a kind of curved shape like that, and bring that up so it's thicker at the end and smaller or thinner at the start. And that's our nose. Next, what we're going to do is bring out the cheeks. So in the other ones here, our muzzle's always been further out than the cheeks or the jaw, but on this one, it's not going to be the case. So you want to, where that horizontal line is, you want to bring it out, pull it round like that, in like that, maybe a bit more, a bit less, depends what you want. And there we go, there we have like our cute cheeks. You can bring that out a bit as well if you want kind of a more contrast between that. Next we're going to do a smile, and you want to kind of make like a U shape from the edge of that nose like that, and add a snaggle tooth and the tongue like that. Now the eyes on chibi style, you kind of go wild with. They can be whatever you like, but you want them to start kind of at the same kind of eye level there, and you want them to be massive, huge, you know, absolutely crazily big. And we might go for my iconic kind of thing I love to do, which is like make one of them winking for no apparent reason. There we go. The iris is going to be bigger than usual. It's going to be huge. It's going to be absolutely massive. You know, the bigger the iris, the more intense it is. Add the eyelashes. You want really big, chunky eyelashes there. Now, what you can do is you can go crazy and have like a heart-shaped pupil, or the shinies themselves can be heart-shaped. That's what I personally go with. But what I normally do is kind of, actually no, we'll go for a heart-shaped pupil. I think you'll be able to see it better. So we'll go for a heart-shaped pupil to really emphasise the cuteness. Shade that in. Add a bit of colour to the iris. Like that. Now we're going to carry on drawing Twilight, so we need the horn, and again it's always going to follow that centre line, but I'm going to make it kind of chunky, not as far out. There we go, a bit similar to the show style. Have that come around there. There we go. The ears, again, you can go wild on. We'll just move this head down there like that, so it doesn't overlap with our other drawing. So you want the ears to kind of, you can have them coming around like that shape or whatever. Just make them kind of big and chubby. That's the kind of secret to everything. If you make everything fat and chubby, it's going to be cute. You can add a bit of like that, maybe add a bit of fuzz in the ears themselves. A bit of fuzzy ears, ear fluff if you don't clean them. Have that around like that. The neck, again, centre the sphere, come down like that. Like that. Normally I make my necks a bit thinner, but I don't have the body, so it just look a bit weird. Hair. So hair's going to be massive, you know, you want to really exaggerate the hair. So that's going to come off like that. Come down. Like that. Add the hair details, add the hair split again. Add the hair colour. Might not be able to fit this on, but you can see the kind of thing we're going for. Colour, hair detail, add the colour, so there we go. We'll just add the shinies and then we'll just neaten it up a bit. So for me this is the quickest one to draw. You know, I draw really, well not well I wouldn't say, but it's just easiest for me to draw. And normally I don't make it look that cute as such, but there's the extent of the cuteness you can go to. So we're just going to lower the opacity of that layer, make a new layer above it, and we're just going to neaten it up a bit. So bring that down, the inside of the ear fluff, maybe add a bit of swirliness. come down. Fuzzy ears are also a big thing, you know, make them fluffy. That seems to be quite popular at the moment. Bring those down. Hair split. Bring that up. Like that. The head kind of comes around like that. The chubby cheeks come around like that. The nose, big and fat. Mouth. You can play around with the mouth shapes. I generally use this one because it's quite simple to draw. But you can, like, you know, do different expressions and that kind of thing. Actually, we'll do the hair first before the eyes. So do the hair split, come down. And this style is quick for me anyway. I don't know how it would be for everyone else, but for me it's quick, it's cute. You don't have to put as much detail in the shading because it's that kind of more simple but over exaggerated style, which means you can get away with not making sure that everything looks absolutely perfect all the time. And again, you can combine this with other styles to suit how you like. Add the eyelashes. I'd not make that kind of like the realistic one, but really dark to really exaggerate the kind of feminine, thick lashes look. The iris, the heart-shaped pupil. And remember, you don't have to have like an art program to draw well or to draw at all. You can use pen and paper. This works well if you use a pencil and then go over the top like this in pen, then erase the pencil away. Another big point is that it's almost impossible to draw well without guides. If you may see like a lot of artists drawing ponies without guides, you know, going in straight away with they just seem to know where to draw everything. If it's your first time or your first couple of times drawing something, I would eat my own graphics tablet if you manage to pull it off straight, you know, perfectly first time, because your mind doesn't know how something looks, so how can you expect it to immediately tell your hand where to draw if you've never drawn anything like that before? If you use a guide, like we have for the sphere in the kind of where the face positioning is, once you've done one facial expression, you could easily do another one. You could have, you know, this one facing upwards with the face here, you know, and that shows that you understand how the face works in a way, and you can use that to draw differently. Whereas if you draw straight away without guides, you're not thinking about where things are, you are just copying something that's in your mind onto paper, and you're very restricted in what you can do. So my advice is always use guides. The more guides you use, you know, the more time you spend making sure everything is correct and setting up your skeleton, the better everything will look. You can add more shinies for a chibi look, for extra chibiness. So there we go. Okay, so here we can see that we've completely finished the three main styles that I wanted to go over. And my last point that I wanted to make to you guys was that this last sphere, the last sphere here, this is for you. This is for you to use. I'll leave a link in the description to like a PNG file for you to draw over the top of or whatever. And it's for you to kind of either combine these styles or take one or take mixtures or use your own style and compare it. I mean, you could be a complete newbie, an artist who's definitely better than me or whatever, and if you draw something, like try and draw Twilight the same way, and you can compare how your style looks compared to someone else's, and that can be really, really helpful. Just try and make it look as different as possible, and that will teach you how to, how to develop on your own. And hopefully you've found this useful, and I want to thank you very much for watching. And if anyone's interested, I'll leave a link in the description to my DeviantArt, and you can follow me there. And hopefully I'll have some other tutorials. If you've stuck all the way through and watched this all, congratulations. And I just want to thank you personally. Okay, if you have any questions, feel free to comment. I'll try and answer them all. But thank you guys. Bye.